What's up, Men's Physique fans? We are back with another video. First, it was Jeremy Potvin with the torn bicep, and now it is Jeremy Buendia with the torn Achilles. We have an update on Buendia's most recent injury and how he plans to manage his comeback to the Olympia stage. A new 2024 Olympian has been crowned in Salt Lake City, Utah at the Wasatch Warrior. We break down the first callouts and whether or not the judges got this one right. Vitor Chavez, Stephen Cow, and Dan Ibrahim all announced their plans to compete and qualify for the 2024 Olympia. It has been one hell of a week for Men's Physique. Let's get caught up.
Grapevine, but I ain't hearing nothing great. No, they want to take it all from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look.
Jeremy Buendia's career has been one for the record books, but it's also one that can't be told without mentioning his battles with injuries. Dislocating his elbow after jumping onto a side of a wall, a head contusion that then led to a neck injury, and the most notable, his pec tear in preparation for the 2018 Olympia. And now, this.
All right, guys, I just got back from the hospital, got the CT scan results back, and unfortunately, I completely ruptured my Achilles tendon. So I have an appointment with the orthopedic surgeon tomorrow to figure out what's next. It sucks. It's crazy. I was not waking up this morning expecting this to happen. It's like a freak thing, just running a little bit, just pop. So
while shooting a promo for his energy drink sponsor, Jeremy was sprinting and ruptured his Achilles in that process. From one ex-athlete to another, we can't do what we used to do. Something as simple as running with now added 40 pounds plus of muscle on your frame, your body doesn't respond the same. After an 8th place finish at last year's Olympia, Jeremy made it very clear he had aspirations of stepping on stage well before this year's Olympia, not only to master his peak, but also make sure that he is primed to bring his best for the Olympia stage. There was even rumors that he was going to jump into the Dubai Pro and go head to head with Aaron Banks, Brandon Hendrickson, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to be a reality for him this season. As much as we wanted to see Jeremy step back on stage and redeem himself after last year's Olympia, let's be clear, Jeremy has nothing to prove to anyone. He is a pillar of this division, a 4-time champion, and the greatest men's physique athlete of all time. Myself and the men's physique community wishes you nothing but a speedy recovery. We know it's only a matter of time before you get back on that stage. And to support your boy, make sure you go pick up a can of jet fuel. Congratulations to your newest qualified Olympian, Jason Hugh, for winning the 2024 Wasatch Warrior and punching his ticket back to the Olympia stage. Traditionally, at most shows, a first call out will consist of 6 to 8 different competitors. For this show, there was only 4, meaning that the judges saw a clear distinction between the top 4 and everybody else. What I loved about this show specifically is that all the guys in the first call out had a different look, but all had a look that still fit what the division was looking for. A small waist, wide structure, balance from front to back, and a flow between each body part that fit the division. And coming in at 4th place, we have Jeremy Coleman. Jeremy has been a veteran of the men's physique division. He has now been competing for a long time before ultimately taking some time away from the stage and then coming back with a vengeance here in Salt Lake City. Jeremy is probably one of the most muscular and dense guys out of that first call out, but still has such a flow to his physique that truly had him in the conversation because of his balance, because of that density, but not sacrificing the flow and, again, that look of men's physique. Jeremy is somebody who has been off for a while, but is definitely now someone to keep your eye out for at future shows. Again, congratulations to Jeremy. I'm so excited to see what he continues to do this season. And coming in at number 3, we have Andre Benson. Now, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Andre Benson is back. I have not seen a look like this on Andre since his 2019 Olympia run. Andre brought a level of fullness, roundness, but not just conditioning, detail. Andre has been known for being a very balanced men's physique athlete, a great back, a great flow from his waistline to his shoulder, but in between, he has always suffered with bringing that next level of detail in. I personally stepped on stage with him at San Diego, and again, I can attest for it. But what I've seen this Saturday at Wasatch Warrior, there's no question at all. Andre Benson is back. The detail was there. The fullness was there. He brought a very well-rounded package. I think some small things that he can clean up are simply his posing, but the peak was the best that I've seen on him in a very long time, and I'm really excited to see what he can do at future shows this season. Again, he is coached by DJ Pure, a phenomenal coach in the men's physique division, and teaming up with him has been something that clearly has been working, because this is the best Benson we have seen maybe ever. And a random fact that I've learned from actually meeting Andre in person last year in San Diego, he's a vegan. So he is not eating a lot of the proteins that you will typically see in traditional bodybuilding diets, but yet and still, he is bringing one hell of a look to the stage. And again, I'm extremely excited to see what he does continuously moving forward. So again, Andre, congratulations on a third place finish. You're back, baby. Keep it going. And coming in at that second place spot, a name that I feel like I've been saying far too often for the second place finishes is Dustin Alves. Now, it's safe to say that this man has arrived. At any given show that Dustin does, he will likely have the best back on stage and one of the best structures on stage. Because of that, he will be in every conversation at any given show. Now, I did speak with Dustin after the show, and he mentioned he's jumping right in to the St. Louis Pro and still going for that Olympia qualification. Now, I will also say this. He didn't have a free meal after the show. So anybody who knows about doing back-to-back shows, we all know how rough that can be. But again, I'm a firm believer that it's only a matter of time for Dustin, not only to improve on his weaknesses, but I'm a firm believer that this season, and likely in St. Louis, he will qualify for the Olympia. Why? Because he has a men's physique look. And at the end of the day, it's not a size game, but it's also more of a flow, balance, and a conditioning game. And he has everything else. And when he puts it all together, he will get that qualification. So congratulations again at another second place finish, brother. Finish strong and go punch in the door here in St. Louis. Now let's break down the differences between first place Jason Hugh and second place Dustin Alves. Now, what I love about this call out is that it's simply two completely different physiques that still meet the structure and the standard of men's physique. Now, there's no question that Dustin is more superior in the structure aspect, so the flow from shoulder to waist ratio. Now, it's not to say that Jason does not have a good flow to his physique, but Jason did get knocked in previous years because he was getting too big and starting to look a little bit disproportionate to what the division was looking for. So last season, he took a lot of time to streamline his physique, and between one show and another show, he actually dropped about 8 pounds. And because of that drop, you saw a much different version of Jason. That's when he went on and won 2 back-to-back shows with my personal favorite look that he has ever brought to a stage being the Vancouver Pro look. Now, I also will say this wasn't the best Jason that we've seen on stage. And leading into the show, I was seeing updates that didn't necessarily give me the confidence that he was going to knock this one out of the park. But one thing you need to know about Jason, this is a good understanding for all other athletes who might be in their head leading into a show. It doesn't matter what you look like before or leading in. It only matters what you look like on stage. And having a coach like Ryan Benson, somebody who at the end of the day will get you to where you need to get to, you will be in good hands and you will be competitive at any given show. So Jason got the job done. Jason also has a phenomenal back, very similar to how Dustin has. Again, I do believe Dustin has a better back, but it's not like Jason doesn't have one. So again, both of these guys are very complete, and it's really apples and oranges, right? So one has a more streamlined, almost say Aaron Banks style physique compared to Jason Hugh having, I'm not going to say Brandon Hendrickson, but let's just for the sake of conversation saying Brandon Hendrickson more-esque style of physique when you're comparing Aaron and Brandon. So again, at the end of the day, one, it's about peaking the best. It's about exposing other athletes' weaknesses, presentation, and again, making sure that you are fitting what the division is looking for. And that's the best thing about both of these individuals. They fit all of those categories. So they definitely made the judges work. This was not a clear decision by any means. I think the reality was Jason streamlined his physique enough last season to still be considered and still be in that contention for men's physique. And I truly believe that Jason just simply exposed Dustin for his weaknesses, mainly that being his front delt as well as his chest. Now, at any given show, in front of different judges, you never know what the cases are going to be, but I will say this. I believe the judges got this one right, but it doesn't say that Dustin can't go on and beat Jason at the Olympia if they ever were to stand on stage together again. With summer approaching, the competitive season is really starting to pick up. So let's take a trip around the division and update you on some of our athletes. Dan Ibrahim announces his next show and is currently 8 weeks out from stepping on stage in Alicante, Spain at the M-Pro Classic. Dan's coach lives across the pond, and it looks like they'll be running a few shows in his neck of the woods with the goal of qualifying for the 2024 Olympia. At the M-Pro Classic, Dan will be stepping on stage in front of the vice president himself, Tyler Mannion, the man who decides what the division gets rewarded and each division's standards are. And over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of questions on whether or not Dan fit the men's physique division or not. So now, instead of us trying to come up with that answer, we're going to find out very shortly from the man himself whether or not he believes Dan should stay in men's physique or continue to streamline and take some time off. So again, good luck to Dan getting ready to step on stage. Dude is looking insane and really excited to see what he can do. After qualifying for the 2024 Olympia, Clarence McSpadden has officially made an announcement that he will also be stepping on stage at the prestigious Pittsburgh Pro. I've been on the record. I've said I would love to see Clarence shut it down and focus on bringing up some of his weak points, more specifically his back, to be just that much more competitive at the Olympia. But when I take a second, I realize this is a win-win situation for him. He has an opportunity to be compared next to some of the best in men's physique. And if he could upset one of these guys by Clarence just doing what he does best, is simply being consistent, that can give him a lot of momentum going into the show. But again, Clarence has never been somebody who takes a back seat when it comes to competing. He's always competed in a lot of shows, right? I believe this is already his third or fourth show of this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues on to the New York Pro just shortly after that. But regardless, I'm excited to see what he does, and I still believe, depending on when he does decide to shut it down, he will have a lot of time to prioritize some of those weaknesses and change a lot of them to strengths going into the Olympia. And following Clarence's announcement, we have another announcement from our current 9th ranked men's physique athlete in the world. Vitor Chavez will also be jumping in to the Pittsburgh Pro. Vitor has always been somebody who competes around this timeline, typically starting off with the Pittsburgh Pro and then continually jumping into shows, whether it's the New York Pro, Miami Muscle Beach Pro, or the DC Pro, where he has now won back-to-back consecutive times. So with the schedule right in front of us and following previous history, it's safe to say that this is where the gauntlet begins for Vitor. He's always been somebody who does multiple shows per year. And the one thing that I love about Vitor is that he has never shied away from the biggest shows. He is somebody who keeps getting better and better, taking the judges' feedback, fine-tuning, and getting better and better. So again, he's only a matter of time before Vitor continuously climbs the ranks and will be in that top spot at the Olympia, at the Arnold Classic. And as of now, I firmly believe that he's going to win the Pittsburgh Pro. Andre Ferguson recently dropped a 4-week out update, and he is currently looking like the Andre of old. The back density is there, the width is there, and this man, again, is like fine wine, just getting better with time. Getting ready to jump into the New York Pro in just about 4 weeks, and I fully expect Andre to continuously run the gauntlet as well. So it's safe to say the shows here in June are about to be epic. So let's get ready for a ride, fellas. This one's going to be one for the books. Haven't said this name on this channel yet, but I'm excited because Stephen Cow is now 6 weeks out, and here are some recent updates from the multi-time Olympian. Also very similar to Clarence, he missed out on the 2023 Olympia, but from what we're seeing here, he's coming back with a vengeance, and I'm excited to see what Steven can do this season. And now that we are caught up on the world of men's physique, please continue to support the channel by subscribing and continuing the conversation below. Do you believe Dustin Alves will qualify for the Olympia in St. Louis? And what do you guys think about the battle between Jason Hugh and Dustin at this weekend's Wasatch Warrior? Will Jeremy Buendia ever be the Jeremy Buendia of old, or will his injuries continuously hold him back? For those of you who have had any kind of injury like this, is this something that can also hold him back from competing this season? Please educate me, comment below. And do you think Big Dan will qualify for the 2024 Olympia? And do you think that he will have a better chance doing so overseas? If you are interested in coaching, I'm now taking on 4 more spots for the 2024 season. All you have to do is click the link below. I would love to pick your brain, hear a little bit more about what your goals are, and see if we could be a good fit. And as always, guys, I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
You better make way.